Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Hope broadcast. Today we're going to talk about responsibility, and it is of great importance that we understand this word and how it applies to each one of us and how it can change our life for the better. Our scripture reading this morning is Philippians 2 and 12. And one portion of the scripture says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Now, yes, this sounds like a sermon that I'm going to preach on the gospel, but no, I'm not. I'm going to take a very important principle from this statement, and that is this: you have to take responsibility for yourself. In the personal development industry, we like to say it this way: you have to take responsibility for your life and actions. You are responsible for where you're at right now in your life. You cannot blame anyone else. It has been your choices, it has been your decisions, it's been your actions that have brought you to this place in your life. Now, unless you're the person that created the COVID-19 virus, then no, you're not really responsible for the global pandemic, but we are individually responsible for our own lives. And we've got to take responsibility for our mind, our body, our soul, our health, our mental health. We've got to take responsibility for all of this. I gave an example in my message on Sunday morning of I am not responsible for your teeth. I'm responsible for my teeth. So I have to brush my own teeth to keep my own teeth. I can't brush your teeth for you. If you lose all your teeth, it's your fault. You cannot blame anyone else. You can't blame your dentist. You can't blame your government. You can't blame your mom and dad. You can't blame your children. It's your fault. Because you know, and we've all been taught as we've been growing up, we got to brush our teeth, we got to floss. We have to take care of our oral health so that we can also take care of our the rest of our physical health. See, it's so important, folks, that we learn responsibility. And, it's taken me a long time to learn a little bit of responsibility. I ain't perfect yet. There are some things that I'm lazy about, but we have to take responsibility. It's our own fault for what happens in our lives. There is a formula that is used sometimes. Jack Canfield brought this to our attention, and he likes to call it the E plus R equals O formula. The event plus the response equals the outcome. You can't change the event most of the time, and you can't always change the outcome. The only thing you have responsibility for is the response. E plus R equals O. So how we respond to an event, to a circumstance, a lot of times that determines the outcome. So you can either react, and that's never a good thing to do. When we react to something, we are letting something happen, and then we are having a reaction, usually based on fear, which causes problems, and it usually happens to a negative outcome. So we need to respond in a logical, positive, effective way to produce an outcome that we would like to have. Another thing that one of the great personal development leaders said, and his name was Jim Rohn. He said, "You take care of you for me, and I will take care of me for you." In other words, he was saying this: you take care of your mental and physical and spiritual health so that whenever I'm in need, you're available. And I will take care of my mental and physical and spiritual health so that when you have a need, I'm available. But if I'm sickly and I'm depressed and I'm not connected to my Creator, I'm not going to be of any use to you when you have a need. Likewise, if you're not mentally strong and physically fit and connected to your Creator, when I need you, you're not going to be available because you're not well. We must take responsibility for everything in our lives. And in this day that we live in, you have time to reflect, you have time to contemplate, you have time to take responsibility for you. You can't blame anyone else for your physical appearance. You can't blame anyone else for your weight and size. You can't blame anyone else for the problems in your life. It's your responsibility. And so I encourage you, and I want to give you hope that you can take responsibility and you can change your life and you can get back on the right path when you take responsibility for you. God bless you. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you back here next time on the next Hope broadcast.